So AI agents are popping up everywhere, right? They're kind of like this new workforce inside our companies. We give them new abilities, we call them skills, to get work done and create all this new value. But as we build more and more of these powerful skills, we hit a really critical question. Where do you safely store and manage your company's most valuable AI secrets? Today, we're going to dive into SkillHub, an open source project that gives us the answer.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Your teams are out there building these incredible skills that plug into your private databases or automate your company's unique internal processes. That stuff, that's your secret sauce. It's your intellectual property. Should that really be sitting out on a public server for anyone in the world to poke around in? For any organization that's serious about AI, that's a security question you have to get right. Now, to get why this is such a big deal, we need to look at what the public world looks like. And that brings us to ClawHub. You can think of ClawHub as the big public library for AI agent skills. It's awesome. It's this versioned, searchable hub where the open source community can share and discover new tricks for their agents. For public, shareable skills, it's fantastic. But you can probably see where this is going. That public model just completely falls apart the second you step inside a company's firewall. What about that skill that hits your internal APIs, or the one that crunches sensitive customer data? For those kinds of skills, using a public registry isn't just a bad idea. It's a complete deal breaker from a security and compliance standpoint. No way.
And when you put the two models side by side, the difference is just, well, it's night and day. A public registry like ClawHub, it's open by design. Its security model is basically community goodwill. But a private registry, it lives safely behind your firewall. And instead of community moderation, you get real enterprise-grade features like role-based access control and detailed audit logs. They're built for completely different worlds. One is for open source sharing, the other is for lockdown proprietary automation. And that is exactly the problem that SkillHub was built to solve. It's an open source, self-hosted registry that gives your company a private, secure, and governed home for all of your custom AI agent skills. You know, if you've ever used a private Docker registry or maybe a self-hosted Git server like GitLab, then you already get the big idea here. SkillHub gives you that same awesome, developer-friendly workflow that you get from a public registry. You can publish, discover, and install skills, but you run the whole thing on your own turf. You have complete control.
So what do you get with it? What are the highlights? Well, first and most importantly, it's self-hosted. That means your data, your rules. You also get team namespaces, which is absolutely essential if you're in a big organization and need to keep things organized. It's got a really solid 2-tier review process. We'll touch on that more in a sec. And of course, you get all the good stuff developers expect, like proper versioning, flexible storage options, and a CLI-first design.
Okay, let's dig a little deeper into that governance and control piece. Because for any enterprise, this is where the real value is. See, SkillHub isn't just a place to dump your skills. It's about managing them in a way that's safe, secure, and responsible. And this approval workflow is a perfect example. A developer can't just publish a new skill and have it instantly available to the entire company. Nope. First, it lands in their team's private namespace. Then, a team admin has to review it and approve it just for that team. Only after that can it be proposed to go global, where a platform admin gives the final green light. This 2-step process is so crucial for making sure that only high-quality, secure skills make it out to the wider organization. And here's the clincher. And this is non-negotiable for any serious business. Every single one of those actions, every publish, every review, every promotion, it's all logged. This gives you a complete, unchangeable audit trail, which is absolutely essential if you need to meet compliance standards or, just want to know who did what and when. All right, so enterprise-grade governance. That sounds kind of heavy, maybe a little complicated, right? You're probably thinking, this is going to be a pain to set up. Well, I've got good news. For all the developers and DevOps folks out there, the team behind this project made simplicity a top priority. I mean, just look at that. It really is that simple. For anyone who lives in the terminal, seeing a curl piped to shash, that's a beautiful thing. That single line of code fetches the script and spins up the entire stack. It's so low friction that a team could have a proof of concept up and running in like 5 minutes. But simple doesn't mean it's a black box you can't control. Not at all. You can easily pass in key parameters. You can set a public URL, which is super important for a real production setup, so everything just works. You can pin it to a specific version for stability, or you can ride the edge tag if you want the latest and greatest features. It's easy to start, but flexible enough to grow with you. Okay, so let's pull back from the command line for a second and look at the big picture. What does all of this really add up to? Because it's about so much more than just a place to store files. This is about building a foundational piece of your company's entire AI ecosystem. When you put it all together, a private registry like SkillHub becomes this central, trusted place where teams can actually collaborate and reuse AI capabilities instead of reinventing the wheel. It forces you to build security and compliance right into your workflow from day one. And of course, it guarantees you keep total control over your own intellectual property. This isn't just another tool you install. It's a strategic piece of infrastructure for any company that's truly serious about winning with AI.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. A question for you, actually. Now that you see how you can manage these AI skills securely, it just opens up this whole world of possibilities. So think about your own team's workflows, your internal data, your unique business logic. What's the first proprietary skill your organization would build?